CBA stands for Commercial Bank of Africa. We've been here in this market for slightly over 50 years. We have operations in Kenya, Tanzania, and we're just about to go into Uganda shortly. As I said, this bank has been here 50 years. Our history goes back to the days of joint consortiums that opened banking business in Africa. So we actually a result of a consortium that was made up of Bank of America, Banque Bruxelles Lambert, Dresdner Bank, which was later acquired by Commerce Bank, and Banque Nationale de Paris. Our history, as I said, goes back quite a while. We opened in 1962 in Tanzania, thereafter shortly moved our headquarters to Kenya after we were the foreign companies were nationalized in Tanzania. In 1971, we were also kicked out of Uganda as a result of Idi Amin having sought to nationalize foreign companies there. So really, CBA is really the largest privately owned commercial bank in Kenya, with a deep heritage in these three East African countries. AGF have come on board with an interesting proposition. The timing of AGF's entry into this market was very critical for us, in the sense that it was a time we were beginning to focus on an area around financing of SMEs, which was one area we had not really focused on as a bank. CBA as a bank is primarily a corporate bank. 70 to 80% of our business comes from the corporate banking field, and about 20% comes from personal banking. We felt as a bank that we needed to then begin leveraging off some of the relationships we have in the corporate bank to drive our SME business, and therefore the partial risk guarantee from AGF came at a time when we were beginning to do some interesting things in the SME field. As you are aware, SMEs do face challenges in terms of access to collateral in their search to do business. So we see our partnership with AGF really as a real benefit for us in terms of driving some benefits to our SME proposition, either by reducing the amount of collateral required or driving a price benefit to SMEs through a structured proposition. The partnership is actually a great fit with our risk management strategy. Having said that, we've been primarily focusing on the corporates and the corporate banking. The move to begin looking at SMEs is a natural fit for us, and really an opportunity to have a structured approach to it, leveraging off the good relationship we have with the corporates that we bank. So in terms of fit with the risk management strategy, absolutely right, correct fit from our point of view, and it's a natural extension of our strategy to strengthen our relationships. So we see it as a strengthening of relationships with our existing corporate clients. The partnership will, as you rightly asked, will definitely help us in scaling up financing to SMEs. We are looking at specific sectors to try and do. You see, what the guarantee actually does for us, a partial guarantee, actually enables us to do things that perhaps your risk management strategy would not allowed you to do, with the comfort of knowing that you can experiment a little without taking an unnecessary risk, and with that enable us to just drive the growth of our asset lending to SMEs. We do have a broad spectrum of SMEs we serve. As I said, if you look at our product proposition, we have SMEs who walk in through the door, people who've just started a business. From your typically SME profile is from your corner salesman who sells newspapers to a big distributor for one of the multinationals, in the fast-moving consumer good area. So it's typically quite a wide area. And for us, as I said, the initial approach will be to focus on those that already have a partnership or business relationship with our corporates, either on the demand side or the supply side, and structure appropriate products that will enable them, get that capacity to do a little more, drive their business, grow their business, and in so doing, have a win-win situation for both our customers as well as the corporates that we bank and ourselves. We currently serve around just over 3,000 SMEs in our book. Again, definition of SMEs do vary from bank to bank. Even governments do have different definitions of SMEs. Our approach to SME is sort of threefold, driven by size of facility, turnover, as well as complexity of their needs. We provide a wide range of services to the SMEs that bank with us. And I'd say the broad spectrum moves from the cash management needs, trade financing needs, be it LCs, guarantees, foreign currency requirements, and then the asset side. The asset side, the borrowing side, we do provide for working capital requirements, short-term needs, asset financing, really, and as well as long-term financing. So as a bank, I can say we actually do provide our SMEs with a broad spectrum of support any bank would provide. We absolutely see this as a long-term strategy and partnership with AGF. We remember AGF has various offerings. We decided to start with AGF on the partial guarantee, risk-sharing guarantee, but we see ourselves capacity to do a few other things with AGF. They do have some interesting offerings on the capacity building side, looking at areas such as credit scoring, and we are certainly looking to get into a bit more detailed discussions with AGF. This for us is just a beginning, and we see that this partnership and relationship growing from strength to strength. Our expectations in terms of the partnership is really to give us that ability to test some of our propositions, and it gives us that comfort. The partial guarantee gives us that comfort to just be able to test some of the positions we want to drive. And we are hoping with some of the additional work we have down the line with AGF, we can actually make my vision for the SME business in CBA is to be a significant contributor to the overall bottom line of the bank. And certainly, if you look at typical economies, SMEs contribute anywhere between a third to 40% of GDP of any economy in the emerging markets. So it's a sector you cannot ignore, and it's a sector we see as being very key to CBA's future, both in Kenya and the countries that we look to grow into. We really see this partnership with AGF as a key cornerstone for our strategy. The CBA has the ambition to grow beyond East Africa. As I said earlier, we are currently in Kenya and Tanzania and shortly going to Uganda. But in our 5 to 6 year strategy, we see ourselves in 10 African countries. And partnerships such as this partnership we have with AGF will certainly enable us drive the SME business in the countries that we look to going into. And we see this partnership growing from strength to strength, and we are really excited to have come on board and for AGF to have come on board, and we certainly look forward to a really, really bright future.